Last week you saw the second part of Seniors Finally Say #METOO. Well, we continue to celebrate our 2019 Hometown Media National Award. So we got together, and Deidre Channing, who went to receive the award at Portland, Oregon at their convention, was present at our Actors Fund meeting, and she is going to tell us all about it.
They had a lot of really interesting topics, but you guys are right up there. You're in the top group of things that they gave out the awards for as an independent producer. There are many subtitles for this program, like Democracy in Action. People who filmed parades and community events also submitted in those categories. But this was in the independent producer category, which was one of the bigger and top categories. So again, you guys, you really you took your vision and you saw it through from beginning to end, and you really reaped the rewards. Further ado, I just wanted to congratulate this group for their Hometown Media Award, which Deirdre went and accepted it in the Pacific Northwest. And
so when I went to the reception in the evening, there was, after the reception, the awards were handed out, and they had quite a huge crowd in a conference room. The Hilton is definitely meant to be a convention center in that city. And we were all to line up when we realized where we were placed, so we wouldn't hold the lines up. But you went up on stage, they were saying very nice things. Oh, people were congratulating me right and left. I felt ridiculous. But, you know, oh yes, what a great job. I'm thinking, I bet you never saw it. It's true, there's so much out there that we may not be familiar with. And it was, their film was about the dangers of the receipts.
Right.
You're not supposed to touch receipts because they're full of BPA. So you notice frequently in supermarkets, girls will be wearing gloves. It's in your name, and here's the plaque.
Oh my God.
I used to carry around like this, and they were photographing me.
Beautiful.
I'm not Gilda.
Oh my God.
So it's such an important thing for you guys to do, and as Deirdre just stated, for all of us in the room, I really think it's great to know that when you put these projects together, there's really a place for them to be and to get heard, right? So I hope everyone's inspired a little bit by what happened for you guys. I don't think that, you know, when you initially put it together, it was to get the word out and to have an opportunity to talk about your own experiences in that realm and to make sure people understood that, because there wasn't a lot of talk around that. And then again, you know, getting it on MNN, touring the play at in some community centers. So congratulations, you guys. I will proudly put this in my office.
The Alliance for Community Media is so enormous in this country. There's so much that we could do. I'm amazed that more things aren't being done out of our community, because some of what is coming and was shown at the ceremony was good for local communities, but I felt didn't address some of the larger problems that we could address, and really make some marvelous short films. I think there's just a huge opening. There needs to be an understanding that this is something that communities can get.
We did this thing as a labor of love. We did it because we felt it was a subject that needed to be opened up.
Yes.
And who knew where it would lead? We just did it because we needed to get the word out about the culture and about changing the culture and about the different experiences we had all had.
About what we went through years ago that people are still going through.
And how to put it forward, as Deidre so aptly said, how to pay it forward, how to let it be a learning experience.
Every state in the Union has many towns with their own television stations, trying to keep up with the truth of whatever their community sees. So that was fascinating to me, and just last night I heard on the BBC it was two women being interviewed, one from India and the other from France, and they have started Me Too movements in their countries so that the young people, young women especially, will get to understand what is appropriate and where they can speak up, and they give them information where they can speak up, because most young women go to the police and there's nothing. They're made fun of, or they're sent home, or accused. So this, I was fascinated to see. This is really a new and rolling called Honored Citizens, 65 and over.
Oh, I love it.
Well, we were interviewed. Listen to this. Heidi Russell produces a podcast, and she invited us to her studio to talk about the hometown award we just won. So we were there, Deidre and Jennifer, Barbara, Carol, Mary. Of course, we miss the others that could not attend, but we were getting ready to start the interview.
I'd like to share mine. In The Site of Memory, they straightened out, she wrote, they straightened out the Mississippi River in places to make room for houses, livable acreage. Occasionally, the river floods in these places. Floods is the word they use, but in fact, it is not flooding. It is remembering where it used to be. Okay.
Storm King's where I'm from.
Oh yeah?
Right up there. Yeah.
Okay. Have you seen that
Newburgh.
exhibition?
No.
Is that a
Not
town
Newburgh.
called Storm King?
Yeah.
What do you know?
Can I see you later, or maybe I'll hit you after a while? That was really interesting about the O1.
I love it.
Found out about it too, like,
Not
randomly
bisexual
online.
glasses, like football glasses.
So International Women Artists Salon, I founded in 2008, and I had just come to the city, and well, I'd been here for a couple years, and I found out that I had great skills with networking, and also had a business degree and fundraising degree and all that. But I moved here for my art after some challenges in my life, deaths around me and such. I decided at 38, going on 40, to start over. So I had been a photographer since I was like 5, and I said, I'm going to get out of my old life and go to Europe. I went to Europe for most of 2004 to just get back in touch with my own creativity. But when I came to New York, someone said, "Oh, why don't you move to New York?" I was like, "Oh my gosh, I can't imagine moving to New York." Absolutely love it. I'm from a small town upstate, and I just found out that I had a lot of skills that a lot of artists don't have. So I was thinking, what can we help? What can we put together would help each other? And most of the artists I've been meeting in New York were women. So it was just so much talent, and I was like, oh my God, we have to really connect, support each other, help raise up women's artistry in general, because with every industry, parity, etc., equal pay and all that recognition is so drastically needed. So that just sort of started with monthly salon gatherings for women of different disciplines, different backgrounds, different generations, different cultures to get together. And from that very first meeting in September of 2008, when we did our first round robin, everybody told what their disciplines are, where they're from, how long they've been in New York, a need and an offering, and everybody they all knew me, but they didn't know each other, but they just opened up. And so we've been doing that fairly regularly for all these years, and then we had a radio show, this radio show opportunity fell in our lap, so that was back in 2012 we started that. We had a showcase of multidisciplinary women's work at the Dixon Place on the Lower
Cool.
East Side.
Cool place.
Yes, for about 5 years. We decided to move off from that space to focus on maybe doing something virtually. We haven't gotten quite there yet, but and so we're just trying to we've done exhibitions, exchanges across different places in the world. So we have probably going on 5,000 women connected. Not systematically. So I'm now trying to build a custom design platform that can unite women artists around the world, all disciplines, all generations, all backgrounds, all stages of career, etc. And then have a public component where the public is getting to know what women's work is all about, what women are doing in all the different areas around the world. So that's just in a nutshell, what we're doing, where we're heading. I see a women's biennial traveling different places of the world every 2 years, a film festival, as well as the local. It's really, really important to have that local connectivity and having women artists, again, all generations, all backgrounds, disciplines, getting together in the local communities. So we're trying to set up some templates and profiles that local communities around the world, from a small town in Africa to the big city, Paris, New York, wherever.
Wow.
So,
yes, that's
welcome,
astounding.
and we look forward to synergizing with all of you fantastic women.
And again, we wish to thank TRACI, the GESU, and the Actors Fund for helping us with our production. TRACI, we all love you. You know that.
I love you guys.
You're a mother hen. You're a mother. You're an inspiration. You are so important for all of us, and your group that you created. What is your impression of what's happened with of course, the METOO movement, and also our winning a National Media Award? It's a surprise. What do you think?
Well, Carmen, first off, let me just say it's not a surprise to me that the documentary and the work that you guys created and generated together about your own METOO experiences has garnered the attention and also the praise, because it hit home so hard. I also think it was incredibly powerful for people and for helping people to understand that this was such a long-standing problem, right? This was something that had been going on for years. So we're reading in the newspaper, I got called to go to a hotel room, and the actresses were talking about these things happening in the 2000s and the 1990s to them, and today. And the members of the group were talking about the same kind of experiences. I went to the audition and I was asked to take my clothes off or sit on a lap, or it was in a hotel room, and the person who went, I hope you're taping that, Carmen.
I am. Thank you. Repeat. You're the best. Thank you.
You are the best.
I am enjoying this because it's a beautiful page in our lives. And it's a team. I go back to team because you give us a place to meet. You take us in a bus to Brooklyn. You let us use a theater.
Yeah.
You use a camera, an iPhone, an iPad, and you help us do what we have to do.
Yeah.
And this is important. So rejoice with us.
Oh, Carmen, I really, again, I'm just so pleased. And, as we look at some other venues for the project and festivals and places where people can see it, I think, again, it's important for folks to understand why we need to hear these stories, why they're so important, because history does repeat itself, right? And that's what we learned. We learned that for so long, people were struggling and living with this stuff. And when the news first surfaced, right, when there was this big groundswell around the METOO movement and what was going on, you could see in our group and the folks that we all spend time together with that there was no confusion about what these women were talking about. It was something that they really deeply understood because they'd lived it. And in coming together to tell those stories, I think that what was interesting to see in the group, first we're at Tuesdays in 2 and we're talking about it just as current events and news. And then as people start to talk, the stories are coming out, and everyone realizes they're really a part of the story. You know, this is their story too. So this award, I think, is really the culmination and a result of everyone's hard work and their willingness to share their story, right? I mean, to tell people about some of the challenges that they faced and the difficult things that they went through, and to help make that universal connection, you know, and to see that there are women of all ages who have these types of stories to tell. So the award really honors that, I think, and also honors the fact that you all came together and did all, you know, the production, the producing, the writing,
the editing.
Yes, the editing. Subtitles, right? We had to, you know, Carmen, you had to, you know, you were already so skilled, but like adding to that skill set. And then, again, just all coming together as a group and supporting each other and saying, you know what, we can do this. We can do this. And then having the confidence, too, to make sure that it was out there and that people could see it. Getting it on Facebook, putting it up at MNN.
YouTube.
And on YouTube. Yeah, YouTube's been tremendous. And then for folks who maybe weren't using their Facebook and YouTube channels and tools so much, I think it's helped some people in the group feel more confident about putting their other work out there. So that's like sort of another nice ancillary. And at our group, at the Wallman Living Room, people saw what you guys were doing, saw that you were getting a good reaction, and then to see the success of, you know, being recognized nationally with this award, they're saying, like, I can do this. You know, and that's so important because as we get older, I think, you know, we talk about ageism in the group, we talk about feeling marginalized and invisible and how people don't see us as we age and they think we don't have anything to add or to say, when the exact opposite is true. You know, there's so much that we can add to the conversation and to let people know and to teach them and to mentor them through. So for anybody who's gone through something, some of the same kinds of challenges that the women and the man in this group talk about, they're real models of success, of persevering, of telling your story and feeling heard, that are very, very important for people, I think, to be a part of and learn about.
So what's the future of your group? What do you think?
Well, we have a lot planned at the Wallman Living Room, but a lot of what we do is informed by our participants in the programs and what people are interested in doing. And I think the other really nice byproduct of the METOO documentary, Seniors Finally Have Our Say, METOO, receiving this kind of recognition, is that it inspires other people in the group. It lifts the whole program, because people are saying, oh, wow, my work is going to be valued and can be valued. The possibilities still exist. And so we have a lot planned coming up in the fall. We're working on some different podcast projects with people's original work. We have a lot of very talented writers who attend our group. We have folks who have been acting and saying other people's words for a long time, and they have such a beautiful sense of the spoken word, and we've been doing a lot of work around that, and I think we have some really exciting projects that we could bring to life with podcasts. We're also looking at a few theater projects, and we have our Broadway Babes Tap group, and they are going to do a recital in the fall. And we also have a wonderful group that does with Mark York, who is a very talented music director, arranger, and vocal coach, who's working with our folks who have done several cabarets, including one that they took out to the Actors Home that was really terrific. So we have a lot of those kinds of activities that are gonna, again, they're up and running and we're in process with. And then, you know, we have some other new types of workshops, music therapy, art therapy, that are coming up. We're going to bring back our declutter group, things that people are interested in. Then we also have a bunch of workshops that we've been doing for some time here, but we always like to introduce new topics, and that's our Living Your Best Life series to help people maximize their benefits, learn more about living on a fixed income, how to access the very best of New York, how to age in place here safely, comfortably, and using all the best resources that we have. So we have quite a lot planned, but it's a great energetic group. It's a smart group. It's a creative group of people that participate. So I expect to see some really great things.
Is that what you expected when you started?
What
did you expect?
What did I expect?
And when?
Well, I didn't expect things to take off so quickly, but I knew. Last year we did a project with NYU called Of a Certain Age, and we had students interact with about 38 of our program participants. And prior to doing that, I remember talking to my friend Joe Salvatore, who's a professor there, and saying, this is an incredible, even when I first started to just have we had our coffee group, really. This is an incredibly smart and creative group of people, and they have so much to offer. So how is this, I was tasked with what is of interest, what are we going to do, and how is that all going to take shape? Especially, considering that we're really focused on the interests and needs of folks 65 and older who have had a performing arts career, been in the entertainment industry. So I knew it would be interesting, and I knew that there would be a lot of fun. I think I just didn't expect things to ramp up so quickly. I think that's really been the happy surprise. And I also didn't realize what it meant to have people come back again and again, and to develop those relationships. And
there's a bonding.
There's a real bond between people. I think one of my favorite things is the reintroduction. I mean, we have folks all the time who show up to activities and workshops, and they re-meet someone that they worked with and had great experiences with, and friendships are renewed and rekindled along with the new ones that are made. And I think that feeling of community that you get when you're in a show or you're on a set, I think that carries through. And I don't know that I realized how much people missed that. And when they're presented with the opportunity, what I love is that they're willing to put themselves out there and sort of reach out and grab it.
Congratulations.
Wow.
Great job.
Thank you.
You're a happy lady. I like that. You're always laughing, you're positive, you have energy. What do you want to say to close?
Well, first I want to say I feel very fortunate in this work, and it's incredible to work somewhere like the Actors Fund, where they had the creativity and the foresight and the resource to help put this all together, right? And to really recognize the need for the program, and to respond so flexibly and creatively. So I think it's a tremendous gift. And we're also so lucky in that we have wonderful community partners. And one of our community partners that was so vital in this project was MNN, Manhattan Neighborhood Network. I mean, they restructured their classes to accommodate our seniors and to help folks, older adults, learn how to use the technology in the studio and to learn how to enjoy using the technology in the studio. They were really open to the process. And they have supported this project in so many ways, through equipment, through classes, through the promotion of Carmen, through your work, by letting people know that it was happening, by putting it up on the channel and the web. So their contribution to this this project in particular, but also to our program, has been tremendous. And I'm really grateful for that.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Tracy. Here's Carol Hollenbeck. We have Mary Rocco. And also Jennifer Sharon Stock. Deidre Channing is part of our group, and we have me. Thank you. Thank you, girls. Here's the group. Seniors finally say #MeToo.